First, a lot of the guys talked about sort of the feeling that they're waiting for something to flip some switch, and is there a danger where they might be waiting a little too long to find it?
Well, I mean, it never happens where you just flip a switch and it goes. It comes from the beginning of the game to the end of the game of working your rear end off. And so if they're waiting for some switch to magically appear, it's not going to happen.
Bruce, when you called that timeout and was talking to your team, what was the message? What was the message there?
Well, the message was basically about pride. I wanted to call one before that, but it was 2-1, and then I wanted to get one before the whistle, and then they made it 3-1. And so I wanted to wait another shift and then call it, and then they made it 4-1. So I said I had to do it, but it's about, you know, we talked about it's 1-1 game going into the third. All we have to do is we outworked them in the first, got outworked in the second, and all we had to do was outwork them in the third to start a tough road trip. And they looked like they were already thinking about what's going on in the sun, and that was basically the message.
The power play has 5 goals in the last month and a half. What do you guys need to do to turn that around?
You know, it's a magical question. I wish I knew. Right now, I mean, we're talking, but we practiced it more in the last month than we did all of last year. It's the same guys. I mean, but the number one thing you have to do is win battles. And I mean, every loose puck they got. Every time there was a one-on-one situation, they got. And you know, I mean, the only time we had success is when we had a couple chances. I thought when we put King, Steckel, and Bradley out there, because they won battles, and it was only for 25 seconds, but they shot the puck. I mean, there's no secrets. People think there's secrets about this. Is the same group of guys that was 26% last year, and for the most part, you know, take away Thomas Fleischman and Brendan Morrison, you know, you know, that was the best power play in the league, and now they're, you know, I mean, gradually getting as low as you can go. So I mean, we watch more video and do more work on this thing. It's we've changed everything around half a dozen times, so we'll see. You know, it's very perplexing.
Is there anything you can do as a coach, motivational? I mean, at this point, do you take ice time away? I mean, it seems like you're running out of options at this point.
Yeah, I mean, ice time is the next thing. I mean, I'm trying to send a message in the last. I mean, it was too late in the last 6 or 7 minutes by not playing a couple guys, but in the end, our best players have to be our best players, or we're not going to win. It's good to send a message and take ice time away, but you can't do it on a consistent basis. You got to do it, and then, you know, hopefully they get it, and when they get it, you know, and then hopefully it turns around. I mean, because in the end, those guys that you're taking the ice time away have got to be better than their best players, or we're not going to be successful. The role players, they're role players. They do a good job, but I mean, it's our top guys. I mean, when you're scoring 1 goal a game, 1.5 goals a game, and it has nothing to do with the system. No matter what anybody's thinking out there, it's because you're not paying the price to do the little things to get goals.
How disappointing is it to have a game like this after you had 3 days off since the last game and before a long road trip?
It's really disappointing. I mean, yeah, that's hopefully this is as low as we get. You know, I mean, we had 1 little point this year, but I even think right now, I mean, this was something that we were counting on as a coaching staff, at least, to come in, win this game as a springboard for a tough road trip.
Did you address the players after the game, or was that a players only?
That was players. I was going to come in, and I had talked to somebody earlier about it, and he said, "Let me go in and say something." So I left them.
At this point, does it have to be them? Is it good that it's their meeting and them saying and holding themselves accountable?
Well, I mean, they better be holding themselves accountable. I mean, we're all accountable in this organization, and it's but sometimes some players get free passes, and you know, and it's we can't afford to have any free passes right now. We're in a 26 6 games left in it, and we're a desperate situation for a lot of teams. So every team we play is in a desperate situation, as are we. You know, if we want to get to where we want to get to.